Hey everyone, hope you had a good break. Back to the beginning of summer. I am sending you information so we can start getting started on writing these questions for the database. What you're going to get is three actual documents from me. One is this document that gives the instructions. The other is a document that looks like this, that's the final format version. Um, and so let's talk about this for a minute. I have categorized subject-verb agreement, which is where we're going to start in the five categories. One has to do with junk in between the subject and the verb, like prepositional phrases and things like that. One set of questions has to do with compound subjects and the rule of proximity. One set of questions has to do with indefinite pronouns. One type of question has to do with when verbs come first, when you have questions or when you have here and there. And then weird words. Now with weird words, I've also included a whole list of weird words that you guys can use to help make up your test questions. But the rest of them, you'll probably use a practice state exit test. For example, we all have these practice state exit test books. Now, I'm not saying to plagiarize, I'm not saying to cut and paste, but if you want to use these to get ideas in terms of the format, what you can do is just go ahead and read a question. For example, let's say refreshment on short flights are inadequate. Well, that gave me an idea, and so I wrote this question right here. The food that is offered at our lunchtime meetings is not adequate. A warm bottle of water and a few Hershey's Kisses does not sustain an adult employee who works through lunch. Now, this is the format of the type of question. A title, and then when you give the title, what you're going to need to have is, this is subject verb agreement, and then this type of question, since the error is here, has to do with two things being compounded, and so this is a compound question. It might be a rule of proximity question if I'd used the word or, but since I used and, it's really a compound question. And then what you're going to do is you'll give each question a number, and you will have the answers A, B, C, D with a period, so a number and a period and a letter and a period, and then you put an asterisk to mark what the best answer is. Now, of course, you can always do a variety of things with these questions, but this is the format. Now, when you're writing, what I recommend you do is go up in here to Microsoft Word and go down here to Word Options, go to Proofing, go into autocorrect options, and all these right here, you have these apply as you type things where when you're typing it'll automatically apply bullets and all that stuff and number for you and do all that. If you like working with that and having Microsoft Word think for you, that's fine. It frustrates me, and so I unclick all these and then say OK, and that way I get to decide. So when I click return, it doesn't automatically put E. I can then start with my next title. Maybe I'm doing subject verb agreement, junk, I don't know, between the subject and verb, depending on what I'm looking at. And so again, feel free to look at the resources and get ideas. Remember, don't plagiarize, just put it in your own words. It needs to be original content, but then you'll write the form. Now the final submitted form will actually look like this. Each question will have a title, and then a number, and then you will have the answers with the correct answer in asterisk format. I'll be submitting this form along with this instruction sheet that kind of gives you ideas, and so you see what each type of question is. Remember, the type of question is related to where the error is, not where the distractors are. For example, here, the department, let me make this bigger for you so you can see it. The Department of Literature and Arts. Well, what we have here is we've got a bunch of junk in between the subject, which is department, and the verb, which is sponsors. And so this question is junk question. Now, I could also, you could have a question like this: neither my book nor my phone are. Well, this is a rule of proximity question. And so now you could say that either of them are and make that the error, in which case this would be a pronoun question, an indefinite pronoun question. But wherever the error is, that's where I want the title. So that way I can arrange these test questions by error, and we know that we have two of each type of error, or one of each type of error when we make the test. I hope this makes sense. If you have questions, please let me know. I will expect that you can write, somewhere between 3 to 7 sample questions for each of these 5 types, and that you will be sending them to me in a rich text format. If you've never saved in rich text, all you have to do is go up here where it says Save As, Other Formats, and when you go down here, one of the choices is rich text format, and you save it in rich text format, and that way I will be able to have the computer convert it and throw everything you send me right into WebCT and have stuff ready for you guys by the fall. Alright, I hope this makes sense, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.